Okay, so for the back here at this part we're having 16 inches. So you sew it to this part. So you're having 16 inches at this part. While here you sew it at this part and you stitch it also at this part. So here we're having 14 3/4. So this is where you stitch it. So from here to here. Alright, so we've separated the back panel from the, this line is just to separate the back panel from the front panel. So the next thing we are going to do is measure 3 1/4 for the lapping of the double breasted. So because this suit is a double breasted suit, so the front will go over the other front, so that is why we call it double breasted. So we are going to mark 3 1/4. So majorly double breasted is always from 3 1/4 upwards, so you can use 3 1/4, you can use just from 3 1/4 to 3 1/2. That is what I use for double breasted, depending on how I want the front to overlap on the other front. So I use 3 1/4. So that quarter will be for to stitch that front part, while the 3 inches will be the overlapping. So this one is the overlapping of the front. So now we are going to cut the front part out, the major front part out now. Alright, so let's go back to what we did at the back part, where we use the back measurement divided by 2 plus quarter. So we got 9 inches for the width of the back. So that is what we're going to use for the front, for the major front. So we are going to use 9 inches for the major front. So from this line, so this is where we are starting from. Note this side is just for the overlapping of the double breasted, while this is where we are starting from. So you measure 9 inches at this part. So you mark 9 inches here. You mark 9 inches down to the length of the suit, 9 inches. Then you connect the lines together. Alright, so connect the lines together. I will also extend this line as well. The shoulder slant, this is the shoulder slant of the suit, shoulder slant line. So we are going to connect this as well. So for the half length of the front of the suit, so for the half length of the front of the suit, you know the half length of the back is the length of the back is the full length of the suit is 29 inches. So 29 divided by 2 will give us 14 1/2. So 14 1/2, you just add 2 inches to it, so it will give you 16 1/2. So 16 1/2 we use for the front. Note the back, the half length of the front is more than the back half length by 2 inches. Note, so you know that one. So we use 14 1/2 for the back, so we are using 16 1/2 for the front. And also the armhole, of the front is greater than the armhole of the back by 2 inches. So if we use for adult is 7 inches. So for the front we are going to use 9 inches. Since I'm taking my measurement from 1 inch before the line, so I'm going to use 10 inches here. So the armhole of the back of the front is 9 inches. So connect the lines together. Alright, so connect the lines together. This is the armhole of the front, which is 9 inches from the shoulder slant line to the armhole of the front is 9 inches. While this is the half length of the front, which is 16.5 inches. So the next thing we are going to do is to mark the same. We use the neck measurement divided by 6, and we got 2.8, which is just a bar before you get to 3 inches. So you mark that same measurement here as well, and you roll it straight. Then you connect the shoulder slant for the front. So at this part you measure 2.25, and here you measure 4 inches. So what you use is, so I'm using 4.25 here. So the measurements you can use for the lapel depends on how you want the wideness of the lapel to be. So it's from 4 inches to 5 inches you can use. So me, I'm using 4.25 for this. I'm using 4.25, and at this part you use 3 inches. So you just roll it, you slant it. So I'm making the lapel a straight lapel. So I want to draw the shape of how the lapel will look like. That's what I'm doing here. So this is the shape of how the lapel will look like. So here you use 2.5 and a bar, or 2 3/4, depends on how you want the tongue of the lapel to look like. So what I'm doing here is the tongue of the lapel. And at this lapel part, you can make it a curved one, depending on how you want your. So if you want to make it curved, you just make it curved this way, and you end it at this part. But I want to make it a straight one. That is what I'm doing. But if you want it to be curvy, a bit curvy, you can use this roller and make it curvy. You can use this and try to curve it a bit. want to make it a straight one. That is why I'm doing it this way. So this is about we are done with the lapel part. So what is next is the armhole. So for the armhole, you can use the armhole curve to bring the shape of the armhole. So after you've done this, at this part you are going to shape. You are going to give the suit shape. So we mark ½ inch at this part and ½ inch also at this part. So we are going to use that ½ inch at this part and ½ inch at this part to give the suit shape. So, but if the client's chest is the same thing with the stomach, so there is no need to shape this part. If the client has a tummy, so there is no need to shape this part. But if the client does not have tummy, definitely shape that part. What you are going to do is just measure what you have here, which is 6.5. So you mark that 6.5 here as well, so that you get the perfect shape. So that is the shape of that part. And for where you mark where your pocket will be, so the pocket is always 2 inch below the half length. Yes, 2 inch below the half length. That is where your pocket will be, 2 inch below the half length. While your dart will stop at 2 inch before the armhole. Your dart will stop at 2 inch before the armhole. So definitely just do the straight line first. You roll a straight line for the pocket. And since what you get here is 9 inches, so 9 divided by 2 is what? Is 4.5. 4.5. So definitely we use 5 inches at this part. I always make this part ½ inch more than this part. So definitely we add ½ inch to this part, which will give us 5 inches. So you mark that 5 inches. So you mark 5 inches here as well. Then you connect it. So these are darts for the front. So let's extend this line. So we'll still extend this line. So and note this for the side front, it will start ½ inch above half inch above this line, half inch. So that's where it will start. So we got 16 for the back, and here we are getting 17. So 16 plus 17 will give us 33. So why the client chest is 41.5, so we need 7.5 to complete here.